Okay, so yesterday I recorded a video called What the Spurs versus Knicks Taught Me About Progress. And basically, in that video, I talked about the Spurs possibly being on a sweep alert, even though it was still pretty early. But the way things were stacked up against them and the way things were looking, it was very much a possibility of happening given all of the circumstances that the game three would fall under. Now, I ended up having to record that video. I think I recorded it 4 times or attempted to record it a total of 3 times before I was able to record it on the fourth try because I was having audio issues. For some reason, my mic wasn't connecting to my phone, which I use to record my videos, and it took me a minute to figure out why. And so once I, was able to troubleshoot that and get that going, by the time I actually started recording the video on the fourth try, the game had already started and was underway. And so the context was really given in my video. It was supposed to be posted before the game, before the game. Not long before the game, but just before the game, so that I could see, what ended up happening after I recorded it. Well, the game was still going on. I think by the time I was able to upload it and post it, it might have been halftime or very close to halftime. In any event, I say all of that to say the Spurs ended up actually winning game three at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised either way. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Knicks won, and I'm not surprised that the Spurs won. It just seemed that given everything that had, transpired between game one and game two, where the Knicks came into San Antonio's at home, at San Antonio and beat them to gain a 2-0 lead against the Spurs. Well, now the Spurs, they went into Madison Square Garden, got that win. So now the series is at 2-1, and now it's looking more like a series, right? And there's a lot of things, that you can say that may have contributed to the Spurs' success outside of their, them just playing a good game and their talent alone. I mean, given the circumstances, the uh, the attendance of certain individuals at the game, etc. But honestly, that stuff could have played into it. But when you just look at the game that they played, the Spurs were playing how they had been playing successfully up until the finals, and they were playing their game last night. And there you could say whatever you want to say about the refs not making calls for fouls and stuff like that, but honestly that kind of stuff happens in all different games. Right now, were a lot of the fouls pretty blatant and obvious? Sure. But ultimately, it's the finals, and sometimes you kind of just want to see the refs let the players play, and to me it's just way more entertaining. Honestly. But ultimately, what I saw with the Spurs is they were playing their aggressive game that I think they're pretty much known for. Pretty much known for at this point, playing very aggressively, very physical, very fast paced, play last night. And all of that was definitely apparent against the Knicks. Now, the Knicks were still good, they were dishing it right back. Brunson was just that dude is just on fire. Like, he's just a phenomenal basketball player. But the Spurs were able to squeeze by with a 4 point lead and win last night with a Castle coming in clutch in the very last minutes or seconds of the game. And it was, I watched the highlights. I didn't get a chance to watch the actual full game, but I did watch the highlights and just watching some of the clips. And things like that. So I pretty much got a really good gist of what happened. But in any event, the reason why I'm making this video is as a follow-up to my video last night, to basically say that my video last night was about progress, and I was just I was using the Knicks or the Spurs making it to the finals against the Knicks, and not necessarily playing like their usual selves, but still being prepared for that moment, even though they at that point didn't seem ready for the moment. And I likened that to my journey to recording 100 videos each day, 100 videos in a row here on YouTube. And I basically used kind of like an analogy where basically I was saying, hey, even though I am, showing up each day, and even though my channel is not where I like it to ideally be after this is now the 94th video, which is crazy to say, it, it's okay, because with each video I record, that is just one step closer to my ultimate goal, which is growing my channel, creating a community, and everything that comes along with it, whether it's monetization or anything else, right? The whole nine, right? But what I was trying to convey is that, even, just showing up each day and staying consistent, right? And sticking to the game plan. And even though you can't see the outcome, right away, or you can't see, exactly where you are in relation to your goal right away, each new video you record is just one step in preparation for what's to come, right? And last night's game, game three, with the Spurs beating the Knicks, at Madison Square Garden, right? That was basically just a live demonstration of that. Now, it's only one win, but that one win can and has the possibility to completely shift the momentum of the remainder of the series. I mean, we saw it with the Spurs against OKC. They were down in the series 3-2, but then came back to take over the series and ultimately win the semifinals against OKC. So we definitely have seen it with the Spurs before. So we know it's a possibility, right? And just that one win, now it could possibly, remind them, hey, we're still in this, right? And, just give them a new, I guess, like a second breath, right? To continue on and playing their game. They kept showing up, and they kept playing their game. And now it has resulted in a win for them. And so again, just liking it to my, relating it to, I said liking, relating it to, my story. I'm just going to keep showing up each day. And eventually, my channel will grow, whatever the timeline for that may be. But I just thought it was really cool how, the Spurs ended up coming back and winning that game after I kind of preemptively said that they were possibly, I may have alluded to them possibly getting swept. But again, that was, just entertainment. Honestly, it was just entertainment, and just, because it was looking a little bleak. But nevertheless, I'm excited to continue to follow the series. I'm just casual viewer of NBA basketball, but it's definitely something that I want to tap into a little bit more, especially come next season. I'm really a football girly at heart, but trying to get into different, more sports, particularly basketball with the NBA and now the WNBA, which I've started to follow a few of those games, and I plan on making some more content surrounding some WNBA games too. So if you're a WNBA fan, stick around. I may be able to put out a video or two that may be of interest to you. But in any event, I just wanted to just touch on that game, the game three, and just say, hey, that was literally a live demonstration of what showing up and staying consistent and sticking to your game plan can do. They pulled off a win, and they're keeping the series alive, for them anyway. All right, that's a wrap for me. Thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me about the game. Let me know if you guys if anyone, are you rooting for either team, the Spurs or the Knicks? Who do you think's gonna go home with the championship this year? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until the next video, I will see you in that next video. Take care.